In today's video, we're gonna discuss the anabolic and androgenic index, which most people get caught by how appealing it is, but in reality, the anabolic androgenic index has some problems that we need to address and make it simple. If you can make it simple, explain it in a simple way, people gonna understand it better and deploy the drugs for the purposes. So let's get started. Anabolic and androgenic index is made of many different Hirschberg assays. So it does not consist of just one assay. It consists of multiple assays. So they take something average and they just write it on the anabolic books. The anabolic books by William Llewellyn, I guess that was his surname. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry in advance. It gives a very, 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 and it's not stressed enough, it gives a very, very broad idea about androgens on male body. They just measure the prostate and levator ani or ani, how they get big. The levator ani is not a muscle lie. Your biceps, your triceps, your cows, right? It does not carry your body's weight in a way. And they do measure the seminal vesicles, right? Ventral prostate. Humans do not have those, but some people still think that the correlation is 1-to-1. And again, they observe those effects on mice. In mice, not humans. So mice are not humans, and they measured those androgenic effects on male mice. So it's less relevant for females. It's almost irrelevant for females. So it is less significant for females. So females can have higher androgenic results from something that seems like a lower androgenic drug. It gives a very broad idea. Again, identifying an androgenic drug, a less androgenic drug that does not live only on paper is a bit tricky. I gotta admit that. So I've talked about my friends, the ones who consulted with me and who asked my opinion about it, and I always simplify it and tell them that if you compare two drugs and unless the one of them is, let's say, has at least 2 times higher androgenicity, there is an unpredictability. Means that some people might get higher androgenic results, hair growth, like vocal cord changes, right? Hair loss. Some females get more effects on, let's say, a drug that has 100 anabolic effect and 60 androgenic effect. And so I said it wrong, right? I'm sorry. Some people, females, let's say, can get higher androgenicity of a drug that has 60 androgenicity, while some other females can get less androgenicity with a drug that has 90 androgenicity. It just get mixed up, right? I gotta admit. The next slide is, here is how we apply the analogy I said. This analogy almost applies to every anabolic, or you might say every androgen on the market, except a few like Winstrol, right? On paper, it seems like it has very good anabolic to androgenic ratio. It looks like a female friendly drug, or especially in Brazil, most vet checks use it, but it seems like it induces vocal cord changes, more vocal cord changes when using Winstrol are more pronounced. Let's compare the testosterone, nandrolone, primobolan, and drostanolone, aka masteron, right? The testosterone has something 100, 200, right? It's the face value we take when comparing androgens. It has 100 to 100 points of anabolicity and 100% of androgenicity. And nandrolone has 125 to 37. And primobolan, it has 80 to 80 anabolicity, anabolic effects of 80, and androgenicity is 44, right? Drostanolone, it has a broad effect. Some essay says it has 60 anabolic effects and some say 130. Let's take the average and it's like 90 something. And the androgenicity is between 25 to 40. It's not consist of just one Hirschberg essay. And as I said, let's compare those. Nandrolone has an androgenicity of 37, right? Divided by 2, it's a bit higher than 70. So, in this analogy, if we apply that, nandrolone has lower androgenicity than testosterone. You almost cannot find someone who says that I had worse. When you equate the milligrams of testosterone to nandrolone, you not almost, 100%, 99.9% of people will report that they had less prostate, less hair growth, less growth changes, less acne, etc., etc. on nandrolone compared to testosterone. Let's compare primobolan to testosterone too. Let's take 44 as a face value divided by 2, and it says the result is 88. It had lower androgenicity than testosterone, which means primobolan is less androgenic than testosterone. You almost cannot find someone who says that I had worse vocal cord changes, clit growth, body hair growth, acne, oily skin, hair loss, prostate growth. Almost you cannot find it on primobolan. And the same goes for the masteron too. Or as you can see, drostanolone. But when it gets a bit tricky when you compare nandrolone to primo or primo to masteron. Some people will report that they had less androgenic effects on primobolan compared to nandrolone, or some people report that they had lower androgenic effects on nandrolone compared to drostanolone, or some people say that they did experience less androgenic activity in general when they're on drostanolone, because there is some unpredictability. It gets harder to predict how someone's body going to respond. And also there is not quite a lot of research about the androgenicity of masteron 2. There is a couple, and there is a couple research that show that masteron has lower androgenicity than nandrolone in breast cancer females who have breast cancer, active breast cancer. As you might know, masteron or masteril used to be used as a breast cancer treatment before advancements in modern medicine and development of tolerable selective estrogen modulators, or SERMs. So they had to use it, and it seems like in some cases masteron has lower androgenicity, but I don't buy that it has 100%. Almost every people will respond better to masteron. I'm sorry, but I don't buy that. But it's a very, very important data that we must take a look at. We must think about. It's something gets overlooked most of the time. And as I've said, what if comparing to primobolan to masteron? What if comparing primobolan to nandrolone? What if comparing to masteron and masteron to nandrolone? There is unpredictability. As I've said, some people might get less, some people might get more side effects. There is no just one answer. And also, let's talk a bit about the anecdotal experience, anecdotal evidence that we see, that we observed, experienced, that we heard about. People asks, what I've seen, what I observed on females is females respond masteron much more unpredictable than primobolan. What it means is, it seems like most females, I said by most, I mean something higher than 60% and less than 80%. Still the most. It still means the most. It seems like females respond to primobolan better in general, and plus it's more predictable. The primobolan's effects are more predictable in females. In males, I would say they are about the same in predictability. Let's say it differs. The difference, unpredictability difference, is less than, I would say less than 20, very close to 10-ish% difference. And nandrolone, it's very predictable, I would say. The predictability is about the same in females and males, but keep that in mind. In my very limited experience and much detailed research, my conclusion is females, when they do respond to testosterone, they respond amazing, and when they don't, they just don't. They're just weak responder. And when someone switches testosterone to primobolan, if she's a non-responder to testosterone, they respond amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. Let's take a look at S. That's the end of the presentation. As I always say, till next time, have a great day again. Till next time, take care. Bye bye.